Welcome to League One. Coming up, we're going to be looking at the different fortunes of Portsmouth and Bury on their way to League Two. We'll go through your club heroes and why it's not a good idea to give away your shirt if you're a Notts County player. To take us through all that as well, we've got a special guest. It's Leyton Orient assistant manager Kevin Nugent. Hello, Kevin. Lovely to have you here. And Ian, of course. Yeah, always a pleasure.
Honestly, don't need to.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah, leave it. Yeah, don't worry.
You beat MK Dons the other week.
Yes, we did, yeah.
Ian, that's got to hurt.
Well, it does hurt a little bit, you know, because we need to win, just like Nuge knows, they need to win as well. We're in and around the same place, and it was quite a big game for both of us, to be honest, and they came out on top.
Yeah.
I mean, the draw, to be fair, the draw wasn't really any good for anyone, really. Yeah. So both teams were going out to win it, and in the last 10 minutes, we were the ones who come out on top.
What was I going to say as well, in respects of what was your game plan? Because I know what they were trying to do in respects of having the man in the hole. Did you have a specific plan?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're probably, as you know, one of the best passing teams in the league. They get it out of the back, they make the pitch really big. We tried to compact the pitch so there wasn't the spaces between the distances between the midfield and the back four, so there wasn't the little holes for the likes of Chadwick to go and get in there. So and it kind of worked. But well, yeah, we did okay on that side of it. Yeah.
Gutted. Is this how you're trying to figure out what teams are going to do?
Well, no, because it's all right to say it now. Obviously, Nuge ain't going to say that to me before the game, is it? So
no, you can ask him now. Managers might be thinking the same thing.
Yeah, but the thing is that everybody knows the way MK play. They want it. They open it up and try to make space in between the back four and the midfield for someone like you say Chadwick. Yeah. So I'd like to see Bodic do a bit more in there, to be honest, because I think he's a top player in there. But you know what I mean? That's what happens. You have to squeeze it and you know limit the space, and they've done that pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, we did work on it, but whenever you do them things anyway, it's basically you can work on it, and then for whatever reason it's not implemented on a Saturday, but the players implemented what we'd asked them to do as well, so and did it well. So so I say it worked for us really.
You're making a late dash for the playoffs.
I mean it's really tight up there. I think now there's 3 teams on 67 points. Ourselves, MK Dons and Walsall, Swindon winning. Now has made it difficult for us. We've got to win, but all 3 teams we've got to win the last 2 games really.
It's one of those as well. When you look at that league and you look at people up the top, Kev, it's like no one is made a proper like we're here and we're going to stay all. It's like if you could have put a run, I'm sure you can look back just like MK Dons can look back and say if we just won that one and that one, we'd be right amongst it, even automatic. No one looks to me like they're an outstanding favourite to go up, and it's a good league.
Yeah,
it's a really good league.
It's really tight, absolutely. I mean, a lot, like I say, everyone will be saying the same things. Oh, if we'd have got a point there, if we'd done this, and every teams have got relegated. We played Bury, and we should have been 3-0 down in 4 minutes. So we ended up beating them 2-0, and they've just got relegated. So you'd be thinking, well, they must be thinking, oh, if we'd have won that game, or if we'd have taken our chances, and everyone's saying the same thing. But the league is so tight. There's no teams, as you're saying, there's no team that's actually just run away.
Everyone's taking points.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of tweets, Kevin, from at West_stand_O, and he's asking, he's an Orient fan, of course, why do you start the season so badly?
You know what?
Is that part of the plan?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like we don't do pre-season. We come
that is a pre-season start of the season.
We come in the day before the season starts, and we just come in.
Right, lads, forget the first 6 games.
I don't know, honestly.
You start the season and you're fit, you're ready to go. The pitches are nice, new kit, new boots. Everybody's ready to go, and it's like, what's happening?
It's really difficult to put your finger on the problem there. To be honest, I think personally with us, I mean, I think this season, last season, I think we picked up no points in 9 games. Wow. You know, and you've got to say, you know, we were under pressure there.
And how did your pre-season go? Did you win? Was you battering teams?
No, not really. We had a reasonable pre-season. You know, it wasn't great. It wasn't particularly bad. You know, physically everyone was fit, but we just started off terribly. And what had happened? We'd had a very good season the season before. We had a good cup run against Arsenal. You know, which accumulated in the Arsenal game. And we finished a point outside the playoffs again, and we were playing really open, attractive football, like, you know, and we thought, right, we're going to expand on this, and we worked all pre-season about, you know, getting out of the back and blah, 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 and we're going to get the man in the hole, and we worked all that, and you know what, the season as it started, the league had changed from the season before. Really strangely, the teams were more physical, they were pressing high up the pitch, and we couldn't adapt to it, and we had to, like I say, after about 7 or 8 games, well, we're going to have to adapt to this and change.
So you literally had to force yourself to start.
Yeah, we had to. Yeah, we said right from the keeper, we're going to go from back to front, and we're going to go and play in their half. We're not going to put the ball at risk at the back.
And is that because at that level, the players, like obviously we all watch Barcelona and they both spread wide, and they're not bothered about a ball going into somebody with 2 men up there or man up there.
No, they do
and
it
so,
all the time, yeah.
So at this level, people say, well, put them under pressure. If you do it consistently, you'll get the ball back.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, yeah. Yeah, and they were pressing us, and again, you lose a couple of games and the confidence goes a little bit, and players are not quite as confident receiving the ball. But it was just like I said, the league had changed. You had Sheffield United in it, you had Sheffield Wednesday, the managers, you had Gary Megson in charge of clubs. The managers were quite big, they wanted big, tall, aggressive players, and we felt the league got really physically stronger than it had been the previous season.
But it must be quite satisfying if you started badly and then you thought, we've got to change this up. You have changed it, and now you are.
Well, no,
yeah. We got a lot of credit.
Yeah, we had to do it, and there's a lot of coaches and managers, and fair play to the manager. We obviously discussed it. They've got a philosophy on how they want to play, and I'm going to stick with this. Yeah. But listen, if you're going 8 games and you haven't got a point, there's something, I think you've got to be a bad coach or a bad manager. Think, this isn't working. Like. Yeah. And you're going to. So we addressed it, and it went from there. Brilliant. And then following into this season, we went for like bigger, stronger sort of side. And the teams change around a lot now at this level. You've got new players coming in, so it's taken us a bit of time to formulate exactly how we're going to play with the best position for players. And like I say, we've had a reasonable run now. Yeah,
we've got another tweet from the Leyton Orient fans saying, "Does Kevin Dearden get involved in fitness training?"
No. No, he doesn't. I've got to say, he's an absolutely he's a great goalkeeping coach. Yeah. He coordinates all the coaching side of this. He organises. He's very good. He's a great bloke to have around the place as well.
You mentioned Sheffield United earlier. They've just sacked Danny Wilson. They're in the playoffs and they've sacked their manager. Is that a strange one, or do you think there's a little bit of method in the madness?
I think as a chairman or an owner of a club, you obviously you can do what you want. For me, Danny Wilson's a fantastic manager. He's done well at Swindon. He's obviously Sheffield Wednesday as well, Sheffield United. But it is a strange decision.
I get the impression there, Kev, that if you're going to sack a manager when you're in the playoff positions,
6 points off,
and something's gone on in respect of him and the board. For me, my opinion is that they've fallen out, and he said, you know what, let's just finish it here.
But their home form's not been great. I think they've only scored 4 goals in the last day.
You're still amongst it.
Well, they are still amongst it, but he's always been unpopular with the Sheffield United fans because obviously Sheffield Wednesday past. So it does seem a strange one to do it so close to the end of the season.
No, it is a really, I think it's an odd decision, and only time will tell if it's going to be the right thing or the wrong thing, really. But like I say, the pressure mounts, and if the crowd ain't happy, then sometimes you see the people. The hierarchy will maybe sort of
and then
start feeling it themselves. Then.
And then you see, like they give it to like a fan favourite, like Chris Morgan.
Right, yeah.
And like they started off, he's won.
I think 4 points maybe in his first 2 games, something like that.
Yeah, but he's a novice. You know what they're going to start saying.
But I think at this stage of the season, they just want someone to try and get them as high as possible. Maybe with Danny Wilson, they thought they were dropping off slightly. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it does seem strange.
They've got a plan or a method into what they're thinking, but like I say, only time will tell whether it's the right thing or not. I'm sure Chris Morgan will be very good at the job. But sometimes when that happens, if they're looking for that, they'll be looking not to bring someone up from inside the place, like Chris Morgan. I think Impact will get someone from outside. But if he's come in, he's got the respect. Yeah. You don't know what he did on the training ground. If he might have been a coach that didn't do a lot, so therefore his impact, when he comes in and starts doing it, the impact might be there. You don't until you're in the building. You don't really know the situation, really.
That's very true. Well, he's a club hero down there, and that moves us neatly on to club heroes.
Wow, nice.
See what I did there?
So smooth.
That's right. That's right. And we asked you to nominate your club heroes on Twitter. I'll get this underway. At Foggy Bronze said, the legend that is Linvoy Primus. Great player and the nicest man you could meet, obviously, at Portsmouth. He does come across as a very, very nice fella.
Yeah.
And I've read his book, actually.
Is it good?
Yeah, he does a lot of charity stuff.
What's it called?
The Linvoy Primus story.
Something charity.
All donations.
I've got one here. At Paul Lake 1708, he says, FC Bournemouth's Steve Fletcher. The big man's a legend. And he is, to be honest.
At Chris Holmes 15, Bury FC, Dean Kiley. Big Dino.
And at Harry, UTB, he said Chris Morgan.
Chris Morgan.
Player now manager at Sheffield United.
So we were speaking about him. He's a tough player.
I know he was. And he looked...
You played against him?
Yeah, played against him a couple of times. Yeah, he was...
You know something? You know when some people are born to play somewhere? He's born to be a centre-half.
Is that right?
Yeah. He looks... Like, you know what? He's
like a Martin Keown type.
Yeah. He's born to be centre-half. He looks fearsome and he's aggressive and you know what I mean. He's one of those. He's born to be a centre half. That fella. Go on, mate.
Yeah, at Tants_88. Do they come any better than Dario Gradi at Crewe?
In respects of hero.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, he's a massive hero.
Well, he's brought through a few players. He's done pretty well for his
He's been
club
there
and
for a
his
while.
Philosophy and you know what I mean. Yeah, I suppose he can be.
Yeah, I'll give the last one to you.
At Graham Lacey just says Jimmy Glass.
Carlisle. A loanee. He's only there for a handful of games.
Was that ever
But he scored that goal.
Was that last minute as well? Was
it was, yeah.
Last minute of the final game
Was
of
it
the
not
season.
95th minute or something?
Like,
It was absolutely outrageous. Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Lovely finish, right in the
Yeah.
corner. And then the pylon ensued, and they didn't go down.
Ensued, yeah.
We've got to ask you, you've played and worked for a number of managers. What's it like to work with Russell Slade?
Oh, he's really good.
Yeah.
He came in when we were struggling. I was caretaker for a couple of games, and he came in, and he's just got a personality. He's got an aura about him. He's got respect from everyone, and he's just very, very good to work for. He's good for me as a learner.
How long have you been with him now?
3 years, I think it is.
And
Yeah,
you like
3
Brian
years.
Clough and Peter Taylor kind
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. But to be honest, I'll tell you what he does. He's a fantastic observer. Like, you know, you're out in the training ground, and I do most of the coaching. Not all of it, but I do most of the coaching. It's only just me and him, really. And if you'll go to say something to him, and he's got it already. He's seen it, and he's a player's not quite looking a bit tired, and he just sees it. He sees things before a lot of people see it. He's fantastic.
You're learning a lot under him.
Yeah, no, he's really good to learn from. You learn from everyone. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I think particularly. People say when you're playing, you pick up things off managers. I'm not quite so sure about that, really.
Okay.
I think when you get into the coaching side of things, then you start recognising what people do and what they do. Like,
Is that your? Do you just want to coach or would you want to manage as well? Because I find like looking at the manager side of it, just doing my little bit with Carl and that is something that I now know is something I never want to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've done it a couple of times. I've been caretaker twice at Swansea and at Orient, and I really enjoyed it. But equally, I know that's been a caretaker manager for 2 or 3 games is so different than being it full time. The pressure's on you. You know, your head's on the line every single day. Really, you're dealing with situations. I think, and with my personality, I think I would like to do it. But I'm the sort of person that want to make sure that I'm ready to do it when I decide to. I wouldn't want to do it when I'm not ready.
Who does most of the shouting at the players? Would it be yourself or Russell?
We're not really shouters, to be honest. No, we're not really shouters.
Not a good cop, bad cop routine?
No, not really. No, we certainly. If it is like that, it's not worked out. It's not. It's not pre-planned anyway. Okay. So.
What do you think of that old school? Because like I remember coming through, like starting in '85 all the way up till I've got to say, Wenger. You know, he never raised his voice at all, but. What do you think of that? Is that totally gone now? That old school coming in?
I don't think it's totally gone. No, and I think there's still a place for it sometimes. And to be honest, we had one Colchester. We were 2-0 down in 20 minutes, and at half time it wasn't a nice place to be in that dressing room, really. And the second half we came out and we should have got something out of the game. I think there is a place for it. But if someone's doing it consistently, and you know, as a player,
it loses its impact.
Yeah, exactly. You walk in dressing, oh, he's going to shout us again, like, and exactly what you're saying. You lose the impact. So
the one what we used to with George Graham is that he used to come off walking down that long tunnel at Arsenal, and you knew he's going to go, and you just sit there. And no one makes eye contact because then what you learn when you're in that group is that you never go like that and look at them when he's slaughtering, because then he'll just focus on you.
Yeah, that's it.
Like
The finger comes out, doesn't it? It's like, and who's looking at me? There it is, him. You might have been sub, you might have been on for 5 minutes, like, you know what I mean? And he's going to go for you, and you just And
you better not point that out as well.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. So in terms of that, I think there is a place still to make your point be known, but I think sort of the confrontation now is certainly getting less and less. But it has to be done sometimes.
2 teams that are going down this season, unfortunately for them, are Bury and Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Well, financially, it's all been absolutely crazy down at Portsmouth. Nearly wound up. They've been in administration. They've got a 10-point deduction, of course. But the fans consortium have come along, and they look as though that their future is going to be okay. Yeah. Bury, on the other hand, are trying to raise £1 million. Are in real trouble.
I'm not sure that's going to happen for Bury.
I mean, that must be. To see another club going through that,
yeah, I mean,
have a bit of sympathy.
as Wright said, that it's going to be tough for Bury because people are going to be looking at what if you're going to go into Portsmouth, you can get 20,000, or if teams like when Swansea they were struggling, it's a catchment area. But Bury, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that one. It'd be a real shame. And in terms of the Portsmouth one, I mean, Guy Whittingham's in there now, and he's doing a really good job.
Another club hero.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's doing a really good job. But I do think that the club should be sanctioned or whatever it is in terms of the spending.
Yes. Well, how far do you go back with Portsmouth though? Can we say when they were in the Premiership, going like under Harry and they were paying people untold money, and you know, it's one of where do you start and stop it? Where do you stop it? Where do you say, well, Harry, we can't really do that because now Portsmouth they've gone down, like they've gone down, and how's their side going to stop?
Yeah, I think now with this financial fair play, it's sort of there's a process in place. Yeah. But in terms of backtracking it, I'm not sure like say how far you go back really.
Who gets the blame for that?
Yeah, indeed.
You know,
Peter Story certainly.
Well, you can't really, you can't do that. You
well,
can't
his name was. I mean, you've asked me a question. You've asked me a question. I've given you an answer.
Can't just claim Peter Story. Peter Story. All of a sudden, Peter Story's getting all the blame. I think there's so many people down there who've got to take a lot of blame for that.
And he's one of them.
Well, but the thing is, I do genuinely feel for the Portsmouth fans because they're just fans of the club, hoping.
Fantastic fans.
You know how it works. You're just hoping that your club's being run right. Now look at them. You know what I mean? It's like when look at Leeds. They weren't run right, and they're still trying to come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
I mean, even like one of my old clubs, Plymouth, they're down the bottom of League Two now. You know, I mean, it's a real shame. And they had 13,000 last week against Exeter. You think, oh, please don't. Hopefully they won't go down because it's a fantastic club. And you look at the big clubs and they've overspent and just mismanaged.
I mean, you do worry about Bury. They've only got 9 contracted players for next season currently. So in the summer they're going to have to be very busy, if indeed they're still there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But when you've got such financial difficulties, flipping heck, it's going to be very, very difficult indeed. At Triggs14. They tweeted us and said, personally, I'd love for us to be a fan-owned club. It's worked at other clubs.
How does that work, though? I don't know how the fan...
Well, I mean, you know, at Portsmouth, there was a consortium of fans have come in and they've raised £2 million, I think, and bought a lot of the club. And Swansea is a fan-owned club as well, which has worked phenomenally well there. So hopefully Bury can sort something out. So good luck to you, Bury fans. And if you've got any more opinions on Bury or Portsmouth or any other clubs, then please tweet us at @ball_street or comment below. And lastly, we're going to talk about Notts County. More specifically, Francois Zoko, who at the end of the game the other week against Colchester, he gave his shirt to a fan, I believe. And the club have said, oi, that's 40 quid, thank you very much. You know, you've got to save the pennies down there. And he said, well, I'm not going to pay that. And they said, right, you dropped. And he didn't play in the following game.
But people don't understand that. You know?
No, it's...
Because people might think that's harsh and that's ridiculous. With
no, you know, someone's got to pay for it somewhere. And every penny counts.
And that's 40 quid.
Yeah, whether it be tie-ups, whether it be, you know, the players cut their socks now and all, they're going through socks now, well, you can't do that.
The Premier League, you know what I mean? That's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just got kit everywhere, you know what I mean? I remember being asked, you had four training kits yourself, you get 2 free shirts a game.
Would you swap your shirt at half-time?
No.
Do some players do that?
A lot of people change.
Was it the Arsenal players?
Yeah, it was Robin Van Persie with Santos.
Yeah,
don't you remember? He actually asked him, to be honest, Robin killed him because Santos has done the old, Robin, can I have a shirt? And then Robin's gone, yeah, of course, here. And Santos got cheers. So, you know what I mean? Arsenal losing, and he's worrying about getting Robin Van Persie's shirt. So that didn't go down too well. But like I say, down at that level.
If every player did it, it'd be a few hundred quid. Yeah,
we've said to them, listen, if you give your shirt away, you've got to pay for it. The players know that in advance, so they don't give them away.
It's not being unreasonable.
No, I don't think so.
At that level, you just can't give your shirt away.
There you go. Well, that's the League One roundup, rather. Kevin, thank you so much for coming. It's been
pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for watching.